Hey, if you're a contractor working in the Peace Garden state, you know there are a few rules you've got to follow before you can get to work. So, in this quick guide, we're going to break down exactly what you need to know about contractor registration and bonding in North Dakota. We'll make it super clear and simple.
So, are you planning to do some contract work in North Dakota? Well, you've come to the right place. We're going to walk through the state's requirements, step by step, so you can get out there and operate legally and, most importantly, with total peace of mind.
All right, first things first. Before you can even think about bidding on a job or hammering a single nail, the state of North Dakota has one really crucial first step for you, and that's getting registered as a contractor.
So, who exactly has to register? That's an easy one. Pretty much everybody. Yep, this applies to all general contractors and all specialty contractors. It doesn't matter if you're a roofer, a plumber, or a general builder, you have to register with the North Dakota Secretary of State. And just a heads up, this isn't a one-and-done deal. You've got to renew that registration every single year.
Now, a really important piece of that whole registration puzzle is something called a surety bond. This is absolutely mandatory, and it's basically your key to being fully compliant with state law.
And here it is, the magic number. The state of North Dakota requires all contractors to have a $5,000 surety bond. This specific amount is set by the state, and it applies to everyone across the board.
So you might be asking yourself, what in the world is a surety bond? Well, it's not insurance for you. Think of it more like a guarantee for your customers and for the state. It's a way for North Dakota to make sure contractors are professional and accountable, protecting homeowners and taxpayers from anyone who might not play by the rules. It's really just your promise that you'll do the job right.
Let's dive into the details here. The obligee, and that's just the official term for the party who's protected by the bond, is the state of North Dakota. You're going to file this bond with the Secretary of State, and it is absolutely critical that your bond coverage is continuous. You can't let it lapse because that could put your entire registration at risk.
Okay, so this all leads to the big question, right? What is this actually going to cost you? The good news is you are not paying the full $5,000. Let's take a look at how the pricing really works.
What you actually pay is an annual premium, and that's just a small percentage of the total bond amount. And this chart shows you exactly how your credit score comes into play. If you've got excellent credit, you could be paying as little as $50 to $100 a year. The rate goes up a little bit for lower credit, but as you can see, it's still a really affordable part of doing business.
And you know what the best part is? For most qualified applicants, the approval process is super fast. In a lot of cases, you can get approved instantly, so there's no long wait holding you up. Okay, let's switch gears for a second and talk about a specific kind of work. If you're planning on bidding for any of those larger public works projects, there's another requirement you really need to know about. It's called the North Dakota Little Miller Act. So, this act kicks in for any public project that has a contract value over $100,000. If your project hits that number, that standard $5,000 registration bond we talked about isn't going to cut it. You're going to need more specific project-based bonds. Under the Little Miller Act, you'll need two separate bonds, and each one is for 100% of the contract's value. First, a performance bond, which guarantees the project will get finished exactly how the contract says it will. And second, a payment bond. This one guarantees that all your subs, your workers, and your suppliers get paid for their work. It's all about making sure everyone is covered.
Okay, let's circle back to that $5,000 bond that every single contractor needs. So how do you actually get one? Well, the process is, thankfully, very straightforward.
It really just boils down to these three simple steps. First, you hop online and apply, which seriously only takes a few minutes. Step 2, you'll get your approval and your official bond documents. And for the final step, you just file that bond with the North Dakota Secretary of State when you do your contractor registration. That's it. You're done. So, if you're ready to get compliant and get to work, you can get a free, no-obligation surety bond quote in just a few minutes. All you have to do is visit the website you see on your screen, buysuretybonds.com.